Today, in the time that I have been given, I would like to take you through the mind of a 26-year-old in the online world and how I have become or come to think the way that I do. Now, in order for you to understand where I want to go, it's really important for you to take you back first. So, I'm German, but I was born and I grew up in Spain. That means that every time I used to travel to visit my family in Germany, I was always this girl that had grown up in the Mediterranean, and I wasn't really German. But because my entire family is German, and obviously my character is 90% German, I never really fit into my friends group at home, into my Spanish friends group, because I was so German. So, never really worked. So I was really confused already when I was quite young about who I was and where my place in this world was, because I never really knew if I was more German or if I was more Spanish. And ever since I graduated from school back at home, which was 8 years ago, I've moved 6 times to different places. So that led to a lot of conversations with my friends and also with my parents about who I am and where my home actually is. Because the thing with traveling is that every time you move to a new country, you leave a piece of yourself behind in the country that you just left. And every time you move to a new place, you become more and more physically absent in the world of the people that you live behind. In my case, that meant that I started to spend a lot more time online, not only to discover new places and to share my experiences, but because I really wanted to remain present in the lives of the people that I was physically absent in. Now, as it is with the online world, sometimes it has its ups and its downs, like in every situation in life. And that's kind of where my controversial relationship with the online world begins. Because whether we want it or not, we live in a world where a lot of people place a lot more value on your online profile than who you are as a real person. And as well as that, we also live in a time where sometimes we have one-sided friendships. What I mean with that is, I bet most of us have an Instagram account, and most of us follow people that we admire, like actors, musicians, influencers, athletes. And we know everything about them. We know what they do during their day, we know where they go, we know who they're with, but they have no clue who we are. And so that is what I mean with one-sided friendships. And I have no clue how, but somehow I ended up in this situation as well. With a person that I had no clue who she was, and for the sake of today, let's just call her Zoe. And so I had no idea who Zoe was. We had no friends in common, we didn't live in the same city, we didn't even live in the same country. But Zoe must have been following me on Instagram for quite a while, because she knew exactly, to all the countries that I have been to, what I did in those countries, who my friends were, what I liked in my free time. She knew absolutely everything about me. Which was not a problem, because that's what I do with other people that I follow. But the problem was that one day she woke up and she realized that maybe I didn't represent the ideal of the person that she thought I was. And so she started writing me a lot of messages over Instagram that really irritated me, because for some reason she didn't like me at all. So she wrote me messages, it was really sad, she wrote me messages like she hated me. She wrote me that she was so disappointed in how I led my life, and she asked me if I felt satisfaction in making people sad by moving away and making them miss me. She asked me if I found that funny, and she told me that my life was really sad, and that probably all the times that I had moved was only because I was not able to keep my friendships. And that really made me mad. I read the messages, and you know, sometimes when you read a message once, and you're like, ugh, it's fine, whatever. And then you read the messages more than once, and you read them again and again and again, and you just stand there and you're like, what? What? And I got so angry, really, I got so upset, up to the point that I sat there and I was like, okay, well, fine. You know, if this is how people see me, then I'll just go offline. I'll unfriend everyone, and I'll just unfollow everybody. And if I can unknow Zoe in the same process, well, then that's fine for me. Because now you might sit there and be like, well, but why do you care? She's a girl you don't know, and she's writing you online. She's not in the part in your friend circle. Like, why do you even care? Well, the thing is that I don't differentiate between the online and the offline world. For me, both are equally important, and so those things really hit me. I was confused about who I was already anyway, and then I had this person telling me that my life really sucked. So I didn't really know where to go in that moment. Luckily enough, I have a very short temper, and all of those thoughts only lasted about 5 minutes. Because by the time I was trying to get rid of my social media profiles, I sat there and I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, what am I going to do once I'm offline? Not because I don't have a life or because I don't know what to do when I'm not online, but because I don't remember a time without the internet. You see, something is only new in your life if you remember a time before it came to your life. But because I don't remember that time, I don't know what to do if I'm not I don't know what to do if I can't connect with my people online. And so the next question was, how do I actually stay in touch? Do I ask my friends to send me an email and check my Outlook calendar if there's a free slot when we can meet? Well, we all know that that's never going to happen. And so there I sat, and I decided that I would stay online, because you see, the thing is that maybe for the generation above me, the online world might not be a real place, but for my generation and the generation below me, it's as real as the daily situation we wake up to. A lot of my life happens online, but does that mean that I am less present overall? And what does real presence mean anyway? Well, to me, real presence goes beyond physical presence. To me, a bond is so much deeper if we can overcome all those invisible challenges together that we have online, things that we might never encounter if we were only physically together. So I believe that all these intangible experiences, they really bond us together. Because the thing is, with my generation and the ones below me, we don't really place value on how we met since when we've known each other, or if we've ever seen each other in physical life. I can meet you online and share things with you and like you anyway. I don't have to see you in real life in order to like you. And so we place value more on the trust and the confidence that we have in each other and the moments that we can share, independently of if we've ever seen each other or not. That's what makes a relationship special to us. Now, I don't know how to explain this very well, but this basically is what gives us a different kind of presence. This is what wakes me up at 4 a.m. because you need to talk and you're not okay. And thank God I was one of those people that have their phone on their bedside tables when they go to sleep. This is what gives us a different kind of connection. And maybe some of you may be able to identify with it because you travel a lot for work and you're not at home that much. Maybe you've moved to a lot of different countries while you were younger or throughout the course of your life. Maybe because you have families in different countries and you try to stay connected with everyone around the world. Or maybe because you spend quite a significant amount of time on Tinder. Now, whichever the reason, a lot of our lives happen online. And honestly, my life would be very empty if I wouldn't have the online world in it. Not because I lack of personality, I have enough, or because I don't have a real life, or because I don't have anything better to do, but because so many people, even people in this room, are so close to me, but normally physically so far away. And the online world is what keeps us close. And God knows where I would be without my family and my friends online to sometimes keep me sane. Now, before I have to finish, what do I want to convey with this speech, or what would I wish for you to take away today from a 26-year-old? Well, of course the online world distracts me. And of course, sometimes I'm going to miss a conversation because I've been relentlessly scrolling through Instagram, looking at things that will never, ever contribute to my general knowledge in life. But maybe sometimes that's not the only reason why I'm not looking at you while you're talking to me. Maybe it's because I really do have two worlds at the same time, and maybe while you're telling me something and I'm listening to you, I'm also catching up with someone else over here, because maybe this person is so far away. And that doesn't mean that because I'm here, you are less important. It's because both worlds are equally important, and I care about you equally. Now, I'm still discovering where my home is. I'm still discovering who I am. But while I was actually preparing for today, I noticed that maybe one of the reasons why I love being online, and also why I don't mind so much moving to different countries and being in different places, is because perhaps home is less of a place, for me at least, and more of a feeling. Because maybe I am so comfortable with going to different places and being no matter where in the world, as long as I have this. Because as long as I have you here, I can be home no matter where, because you give me the feeling of being at home. Thank you.